And away we go.
When the politicians keep politicking before you turn to excessive drinking, spend some time collectively politinkering with the show where I don't know, man. 'Cause the truth is I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
I think I just melodically always hit that one.
I don't know, man.
Hello, all our Politinkerites out there. Welcome back. This is your host, Sean Fau. With me, as always, I don't know, is that rude to call myself the host and then introduce you guys? Are we not co-hosts?
I don't know if you said, did you just say host?
This is your host. That's how I've been starting them, just because I don't know what else to say or
I don't mind.
to nominate.
It doesn't bother me.
But we are all equals in the half round here.
Well, thank you, sir.
But with me, as per usual, we have Mr. Joseph Bonier.
Hello.
And, of course, Mr. Sean O'Brien.
What's up, gentlemen?
How you doing, guys?
We are well.
I'm good.
How are you?
I'm ponderous.
Ponderous, contemplative.
Yeah, we're
Hanging
in, we've got some decisions to make this time of year.
So, so we're doing like a politics thing?
Like
Presidential race?
We're electing someone?
Well, there's politics involved. There's politics involved in everything.
Okay. Oh, this is
true.
like titillating, if you were. Wait, we were talking before. I don't know. Well, you know what? Do you want to ask the question first?
Go for it.
I was going to say, Joey asked this question. What should we call our listeners?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I don't know. What do you think? I like
know, man.
snowflakes.
You like snowflakes?
I like calling them snowflakes
Yeah.
because they're all different.
Sean's been using Tinkerits.
Politinkerites. yes.
Politinkerits. I feel like it's a little too close to like a degenerate or that
Tinkerates, but
Tinkerate.
electorate.
Well, I think the
Oh, that's not
Electorate is
bad.
what?
yeah,
Like tinkerate, electorate.
but the catchphrase I wrote for the show originally was, I think, uneducated opinion about uninformed topics or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's always been kind of on my mind, that we know nothing and they know nothing and we're all here
Oh, and like a
together.
bar situation.
Yeah,
too. So we
exactly.
patrons,
Mm,
but
yeah,
patrons is just
Yeah.
a regular thing. That's what you call patrons anyway.
Exactly.
What about
would you
And
like
then
friends in
there's
a bar?
Patreon, which is a whole podcast thing anyways.
Oh, okay. What were we
Uh,
gonna say? What about what?
I was going to ask, how do you guys feel about tinks?
I mean, I like tinks. It's sweet. You said it sounds derogatory.
I think
Oh,
it sounds somewhat like a slur.
Well, it certainly has a...
I like tinks. I don't know. It sounds
It's kind of
cute.
cute. It's like
Cute.
tiddlywinks.
Is it?
it
What's, so
has
it's
a
either-
homosexual connotation.
Does it really?
Oh, yeah, like Tinky Winky.
Wait, like
well,
specifically, or just
well,
you're associating? it?
Yeah, no, to me, I mean, it just sounds like Twinks. But that's...
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, so
Tinks.
I think that
Tinkies.
devolves very easily. Not that I have anything against Twinks, but,
Tinky
you know.
tots.
Why
Tinky
can't we have a
tots.
sexual relationship with our listeners, Sean?
We can.
Yeah, I'm
We
fucking their
fuck
ear holes
their
right
ear
now.
holes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
deep in there.
Well,
been
for
on the
now,
same
snowflakes. Let's stick with snowflakes.
Really? You
Yeah.
don't like Politinkerites? Pod people?
I'm okay with tinkerates, politinkerates. I'm okay with pod people. I'm okay with all of them.
Yeah, I don't.
They're going to be my little snowflakes.
Right on. Unique and
You know
individual.
what? We can all have our own little thing. You can call them whoever they want, and then they'll decide who they want
whichever,
to stay.
whichever
Exactly,
faction of the half round.
Exactly. Like you call them, you'll be like, no, I'm a politinkeret, all right? And be like, no, I'm a snowflake. And you're like, no. So wait, Joey, you got to pick one then.
Yep. Pick a team.
Yeah.
Team name, mascot.
Your own team. Yeah, your team. What are you going to call
Joey's
it?
Tinks.
Joey's Tinks.
So if you want to be a member of Joey's Tinks, tweet me at,
Can I be a-
Joe Bonnier.
Can I be a member of Joey's Tinks though? Even though I
no,
have
I'm
my snowflakes.
Yeah, no, we're accepting of all. Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. I haven't mentioned it. First off, this is probably the first show you guys will hear where Politinkering has its own feed. You may be hearing this in the TBC feed, but Politinkering does have its own, and there will only be a select few more episodes released in the TBC feed before we break off completely. So if you are subscribed to the Text Before Calling feed, you're going to want to resubscribe to Politinkering.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yay!
Knew our own thing. Yay! We have our own feed.
About time.
As well as a feed, we have an email address. So you guys can email politinkering@gmail.com if you have any questions, concerns, rebuttals, or actual information like we usually tend to ignore.
Or or
fact check by all means.
suggestions.
Yeah, ideas for shows. By all means, send
totally.
us emails
We'll
for
take-
ideas for
take
shows.
suggestions.
Or as we are apt to do on TBC, most of our guests are cultivated from our audience. So if you are
if you
very
wanna-
interested in shouting us down at any
Could be
point,
a Skype guest,
indeed.
or you can come to the half round.
We'll have to
Nah,
negotiate
fuck
that.
shit, yeah. I don't know who's going to be emailing us.
No.
So you're right. I'm sure if it's just like Mike in Idaho.
Yeah. Mike, you're welcome to join us.
Yeah,
I mean,
by all means,
you know,
Skype.
but,
Skype us in.
uh,
So sorry, I didn't
yeah.
mean to get us off track. Nice little house. And is there anything about the space episode we need to go over? Did you guys say anything crazy? I feel like we said a lot of random
Yeah.
stupid shit.
Laws
but
exist.
Laws exist. I think
yeah.
the word I was trying to figure out the first time was oh my god, I forgot it fucking again. Quadrupole oscillation. When it's
yeah.
quadrupole, so like the bigger and fatter the shorter thing.
Isn't that
Nice.
You guys also thought I was like crazy against space for some reason, which I guess I understand. I was just playing. I was playing devil's advocate, like the whole.
you
Like,
do it so well, though.
well, that's honestly more. That's an important thing to say. Come to think of it, I argue against myself fucking harder than anybody is
Yeah.
able to argue against
It's a good
me
thing.
because of that.
That's-
Exactly.
that's the purpose
how
of
I'm able
debate.
to forge the ideas that I kind of have.
Yeah.
Because I fucking am constantly arguing against myself. So it's not. So no, of course, like there was the colonization. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. Listen, enjoy. It was a lot of fun. It was
We
a
were
great
wrong
episode,
about a
but
lot
we
of
were
shit.
wrong. I think the laws too, like a law.
Yeah.
So like law of thermodynamics, like a theory is.
A law is something that basically exists inherently that we can
Right,
we
it's
can
an
calculate
observation.
and we
We can
can
observe.
we can predict essentially.
Right, whereas the theory is the justification,
how
of
it
the
does it
reasoning
thing.
behind how
Yeah.
it does it, and it is the elevated. The top is the theory. It is the end.
Yeah, the theory is the explanation of the law essentially. So yeah, but
So
today
anyway, so fact check today.
on the show.
What do we got, Sean? What's on the plate?
Should we give awards for art?
Should we give awards for art?
Mm-hmm. Is that
Huh?
is art competition? Is there any sort of justifiable or quantifiable way to understand and rank art? Who should be doing the judging? Do the Oscars matter? Do Emmys matter? Cable Ace Awards? Who should be making those choices? Who should be the ones picking who it is that are the best artists? Does it make sense to give praise for some novels over others? Does it make sense to see the man?
So we're gonna need.
What?
So
What
it's
the
tough,
fuck,
man.
man?
The first thing I'd like to jump on, I'll start off with an anecdote. My philosophy is a little rusty on this. I'm gonna probably need to. We're gonna need to do a what is art episode in general, but there is an element of philosophy that I kind of vaguely remember. So David Hume, in his kind of ideas about art and what not necessarily what makes good art, but he's most concerned with how to judge art. So let me give you guys a different kind of idea here, right? So we've got a little kid who reads Green Eggs and Ham and thinks it's the greatest book in the world, right? And then we've got a professor of literature who've studied their entire lives constantly. They know every facet of art. That's all they've done is obsess over it and understand it and read it and read every piece of literature in general. Who among those two people is a better judge of what is good art? Do you think it's the kid, or do you think it's the person who's studied it at the very least? David Hume would say it's the person who's at least studied it.
Yeah.
Right. Now, of course, whether or not they have a justification, because the question is the justification, right?
Mhm.
I assume you're talking about this because of the Oscars.
Yeah,
specifically.
certainly. Our proximity to the sun.
Got it. Okay, got it. So see, that's tough because I was gonna go philosophically about it, but I'm just too rusty. I don't fucking remember this shit. I'm gonna have to look it up. And we'll do like a whole art episode.
Yeah.
But I guess more specifically, the question is that applicable to the Oscars? Do the Oscars operate in that same situation that I just postulated, or are they all the
movies
little
art?
fucking kid?
Mm.
Well, that's going to go into the whole. Yes, I think movies are art, but again, what is art? Of course, it's a totally open question.
I mean,
but should the go ahead? Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, arguably, movies are one of the very few collaborative arts.
Yeah.
or strictly collaborative arts. I mean, music is usually considered fairly collaborative, but it doesn't have to be. Movies there at least needs to be one person in front and one person behind the camera,
Right.
for the most part. I mean, you could argue a YouTube blog is a movie, but I'd probably punch you in the face for that.
Well, it's 90 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Is it a movie though?
There is the guy who made Rambo in his
I
apartment.
mean, even a short.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah.
a short film, why wouldn't it be a short film? A YouTube.
No,
YouTube vlog?
yeah. I mean, all right. I guess that's a
You're
valid
welcome
point.
to punch me. I just.
No. I said YouTube vlog, or I meant YouTube vlog, anyways. If
What
I
I'm
No,
saying,
no,
is
it doesn't. I knew
but-
what you meant.
Yeah, no. If there's a narrative structure, maybe. I mean, we call maybe the difference between comedy and a one man show. But
Yeah, that's a good point too.
I-
When it comes into theater, the whole thing again, like art in general, is a YouTube vlog a short film?
Yeah.
I mean, I would argue it is. It's just a question of whether or not it's.
Well, it's not a film. It's not shot on film. God damn it.
That's another question. Oh man, we
Oh,
can
no.
definitely go
We've
there,
touched a
man.
nerve.
Hateful Eight
With
is
the
the only
Osc-
goddamn film.
Yeah, it's tough, man. Did you like the Hateful Eight?
I didn't see it. I was going to see it on the film, and then I got distracted. Yeah, and it was out of theaters by the time.
Plus, they were supposed to. It was supposed to be in the ArcLight. Like he made it for the fucking ArcLight.
Yeah.
He made it for the Cinerama Dome,
Totally.
and then Disney pushed him out. For you guys heard about that,
I
right?
didn't
Yes,
know.
you didn't hear about that? Yeah.
No.
So it was supposed to come out. Oh man, I think it was Christmas Day. It was supposed to come out on Christmas Day.
But why did Disney push him out?
Because of Star Wars. They wanted Star Wars
Oh.
to continue to play in the Cinerama
makes
Dome at the
sense.
ArcLight.
So it's
And
just a money
Tarantino was like,
issue.
"Look, I don't care if it doesn't come out in the whole country. All I wanted is on this one fucking screen.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for." And Disney's like, "You can go fuck yourself." And he's like, "Well, fuck you." And they're like, "More Disney. We don't give a shit, man.
Wait.
It's fine."
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Disney has.
Lucasfilm.
Right. But they, what is their connection to ArcLight? I thought that was all Scientology guys.
Oh, they
just bought it
said
first.
that they just literally said if you don't if you don't extend our stay, then we're not going to show Star Wars movies in your theater
Oh, gotcha.
or any Disney film.
So yeah,
And ArcLight's like, okay.
yeah. Well,
guess
Disney's a bunch of douchebags, anyways.
Oh,
But
poor Disney. We're talking shit about. I like.
I always
Disney.
talk shit about Disney.
I don't mind. No, talk
Uh,
shit about how the fuck you want. So
no.
film versus digital, sure, we can have a whole
Uh-huh.
discussion there, which is fine.
Mhm.
Yeah. that's
But again, as far as the Oscars are concerned, are they actually worthy of all the praise that we think that they of all the praise, the supposed
Do we know
praise
the
that they get?
mechanics on how people vote for it?
They just vote, man. So you remember the Academy, you
Yeah.
vote. Yeah, I know.
So, but you have to. I thought it was something like the actors have to vote for actors. Is it has to be like sound mixers vote for sound mixers? And
Oh yes. So there
cinematographers
are
vote
some
for
things.
cinematographers?
Well, I
It's
think
not
everybody.
all. Everyone votes for Best Picture.
Everybody votes for Best Picture, actors,
And director.
and directors. And the only you kind of your specific occupation you vote for
Trade.
them. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Your trade. So yeah, that's how it works.
As busted up knuckle guys over here, we call it a trade. You fancy pants bastards in your typewriters.
I'm a director, man. I'm a director, man.
Oh, so sit behind Video Village, right?
No, I'm right in it. I'm right. Fuck
no,
Video
I can't
Village.
imagine you sitting anywhere, man.
Thank you. That's the best compliment. you
I
ever
feel like
get.
this is the longest time you ever sit in one place is for these shows.
Well, remember that episode I stood, or did
Yeah.
it might have been one of the gone ones? I don't remember. The,
no, actually, I think we're going to release that after because of
oh,
again,
that's
our
coming after.
proximity to the
Okay, got
sun.
it. That makes sense.
But
So, Oscars.
mhm.
I don't know. Do you guys watch? Do you guys like the Oscars? Let's just start there before we even get into the idea.
Yeah,
Of, is
and
it
how
worthy
we
of
feel.
it? Yeah,
I
really.
love them. I watch them pretty much every year. I usually
Mm-hmm.
actually sit down with friends and watch them. Have a few drinks. I make it a whole kind of thing. It's like the Super Bowl to me in some ways. I like it. Even though I know it's a lot of politics and blah, 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 and it probably is a little bit racist and a lot of old white men and all that good stuff. I mean, bad stuff. But I still, but for the most part, I think the movies that I like get picked. I mean, obviously there's some snubs each year and all that stuff. But yeah, I like the movies.
But it's
that
an
are picked.
interesting note that you said. Like it reminds you of the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it
It's
is
a cultural
just a
event.
show. Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
event. It's just a show. I mean, do you give any credence to the Oscars themselves? Does it matter who wins?
Yeah, I do. It does.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe that's me just kind of buying into the system too much. But even back in the day when I used to work at a movie store rental place.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. That's
we
right.
would have all the best pictures, in a special section.
Yep.
Each year would have their own. I would memorize them, so I would know, the fact that Unforgiven was Best Picture in 1992.
Yep.
Very good. Wow, you're nerdier than I am.
Yeah. Arguably working
I'm
in
not
a
nerdy.
video
I
store.
just said it
that's-
first. You probably would have said it. We're equally nerdy. There's no.
I just want to
Yeah,
make that
you guys are
distinction.
equally
Oh.
nerdy. That's That's for sure.
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm nerdier than you. It depends on who.
It depends on the topic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like history,
Yeah.
you're nerdier than I
Sure,
am.
yeah. I mean, movies, you might beat me there,
But you'd
You
probably
think so? I
get
don't
music.
maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got me. Well,
I got
probably
you
you think. Oh, okay. He's got me in music.
If there's one thing I know I'm too nerdy about, it's
I'm pretty nerdy about music. You probably
O'Brien's
know.
got his Pokemon cards, but
I've never
played
how does
Magic.
Pokemon work.
I
I
don't
wish
know.
I understood how
played
Pokemon
Magic the
work.
Gathering.
So did I.
Oh,
Dude, we'll play Magic.
Oh my god.
Let's
That'll-
definitely fucking play. Do you really play Magic? the
I
Gathering?
haven't played in years. I bet.
Oh, okay.
Do you really still play though?
No,
huh?
I don't still play. My best friend and I would always
It'll
like
make
whenever
some
we'd see
sweet pod.
each other like once a year. So we'd go and get those like intro decks because they're always
That's
new.
really
They're-
fun. I would
and, like,
totally
you could
do
just buy the
that.
pack.
I would
That
do
be
that.
funny.
Yeah, that sounds like a.
We are equally. Sean's
sure I
laughing.
like-
Okay,
We're-
so we just
Oh,
nerded
no, I
out.
play
Obviously.
D&D, man. I'm not
Equally nerdy.
discrediting
We can
myself in the nerd clan here.
Let's play some D&D too. That'll be fun.
We could have an episode where we do that, maybe.
The
We could explore.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
But you do care. You care who wins.
I do. No,
Do
I
you
mean,
still care?
even though I know in the back of my mind it's kind of stupid that I care, but I do.
Why is it stupid that you care?
You know, just because all the reasons that I said, it's mostly politics, and and a certain type of movie always wins, and a certain type of performance usually wins. I mean, I don't want to get too un PC here, but they talked about it in Tropic Thunder. You know, you go full retard.
Never go
and
full
you win.
retard.
You know, and,
You went full retard.
and it does seem that these overdramatic roles tend to win, and I think I even said it in our comedy episode. I do think that a comedic actor could win Best Actor if it's that good.
Mhm.
It's just all about the competition, and I just don't think that just because it's a tearjerker, it should be more prized than another piece of art.
Well,
Mhm.
it could win or should win.
I didn't say should. I said could.
Really? Yeah, I was.
Do you think it should?
Oh yeah, I certainly think a comedic performance should be able to win the Academy Award. Whether or not it ever could, I don't really think so.
Oh, I think you guys are saying the same thing then.
Oh yeah, we are.
Oh, okay.
Good. Congratulations.
One of our classic politinkering
Have you guys-
agreements.
Have you guys seen some of the movies this year?
Yeah, I've
I
seen
actually saw a couple
Okay.
more than I
Take us
expected
through.
to. At
Take
this
us
point.
down the list.
Yeah, so let's take a look.
Oh, we have the list.
We
here.
do.
We're like educated.
This is called being prepared.
Well, we're not
guys.
actually educated. We haven't even really looked at it yet, but we have it.
Yeah. So Best Picture, I guess we'll start with.
Yeah. Let's list
Best Picture nominees are The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max: Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. Yep.
What are the ones
I
that-
just realized I've
Sorry,
only
I was-
seen 2 of those, so
Mm.
I am not-
Really?
yeah.
Sean,
So I'm not
how
the
many?
best with this
Well,
one.
okay, Joey, what have you seen?
I've seen Mad Max and
The Martian?
yes, I've seen The Martian.
What
as
did you
well.
think of those two?
I loved them. Actually, I really liked them both. I loved Mad Max. I thought
Hmm.
Mad Max was
Okay.
something super special. I'm a sound guy. I got to kind of just throw that out there. I actually kind of work as a sound production sound mixer, so on set usually.
Mhm.
But I was in love with the post production sound for
Fury Road.
Fury Road. I just thought all the creative ways they dealt with the action scenes was so amazing because there wasn't a ton of dialogue, so you really have to
Yeah.
kind of
Just sounds-
that's
It's
an
an understatement.
understatement. You're right. Like there was like 2 lines.
There was some like non-sync in the very beginning, and then
A little bit of
So
grunting. and
I just like I just to tell such a great action-packed story with the pacing of just like minimalist music, the drums, all that stuff was really cool. The Foley was amazing, and Foley's like those. I guess getting
I love that.
no,
guy.
go for it. It's
inside
fine.
baseball. Foley is
You can
like,
explain what Foley is. if you
Sure,
want.
yeah.
Please.
Like, Foley is like these human body oriented sounds that are what are considered diegetic. So like, yeah, sure. Sean making a farty noise.
Well, describe what like a Foley stage
So-
is first.
Sure. So it means that some Foley artist is actually recreating these noises that you see on screen with, like an old radio play. They'll basically, create them. They'll create the sound of the
footsteps.
footsteps is the classic example. So they'll have, they'll have some gravel. They'll have some tile floors to recreate the exact sound of a footstep on a tile floor. And it's kind of cool. And the way they did it with, specifically some of these action scenes with the chain, with that one action scene when he was next to the, when he fought the Charlize Theron, which was amazing. It was just, all of the different distinct sounds to me were so cool. And the way it was done was, I don't know, I just loved it all.
And then The Martian you liked as well.
The Martian I loved as well. Yeah. But you can tell that I kind of lie towards the sound, that 50%.
Sure. Yeah, I think of all the movies we've ever talked about, like we have Interstellar, The Martian, and that. The only thing you've ever talked about is the sound.
I get a little nerdy about
Yeah, I
that.
don't mind. It's okay. It's just interesting.
What did you think of The Big Short, for instance.
Well,
I was
I'll-
curious about that one.
Did you see
go
that
ahead.
one? You
I didn't see it, but I
Okay.
really want to.
I'll go down the line for
Yeah,
everything.
go for it.
But Sean, no, it was Sean.
Okay.
You should go first.
Okay, go ahead, Sean.
So I did see The Big Short. I also saw Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, and I just recently was forced to see Room.
Which is ironic.
Indeed.
Horrifyingly ironic. Okay.
How should we deal with spoilers? By the way, let's. Should we do it any kind of spoiler thingy
I
here?
think we've been pretty good. I don't.
Sorry,
I think we should
be that
avoid
guy. I hate
spoilers.
being that
Yeah.
guy, but
No, it's important.
I mean, unless
we
it's
should avoid
important
it.
to the conversation, which I don't think it normally is. or
Well, you know
will-
what though? With Room, let's try not to say anything. I went into Room, so I went.
Yeah, I went in
Room
nothing.
because I
No,
don't know a
yeah.
thing about that, I kind of
Absolutely
don't want to.
nothing. You don't know
Yeah.
anything
I don't know a
about
thing
it.
Okay.
about that. I know it's
Great.
Yeah,
Go honestly
Yeah.
though.
yeah.
Go
If you're gonna
see
see
it
it,
in the
know
theater.
nothing.
Go
Yeah.
see it in
Yeah,
the theater,
That's what I thought.
knowing nothing. So
Although
good
knowing
to know.
nothing is my preferred general default for seeing anything.
Yeah, for
Do you guys
for most
avoid
stuff,
trailers
I
for
guess it is.
that
Yeah.
reason?
I don't avoid. I don't really care. I've stopped caring. Honestly, I've stopped caring.
I just don't live in the media world, so it's kind of easy to avoid trailers. Like I see the
Yeah, I
billboards
guess that's true,
constantly
too.
driving
Yeah,
through
exactly.
LA.
I fucking
but,
live on Sunset. Like I
Yeah.
can't walk anywhere without knowing what the fuck's going on.
But fortunately or unfortunately, these days movie posters give you absolutely no information about the
Yeah,
movies.
that's true. It's always like this esoteric, just like side eye face.
Yeah,
just like,
the
I'm gonna get the thing.
superhero pose
Right,
and
exactly.
stoic face.
Right,
and,
exactly.
yeah, little,
I'm gonna
three-quarter
contemplate the
lighting.
thing.
Yep.
I do
Um,
not avoid trailers, Mandrake.
Oh, hey, we have a guest.
What?
We have
Who is
we
that?
have a guest here.
I do not avoid trailers, Mandrake, but I do deny them my essence.
Oh,
Doctor
fabulous.
Strangelove,
Yeah.
Best Picture, 1985.
All right. 85.
You're gonna
1985.
check that.
Okay.
Yeah,
if you were please
it out.
fact check to
that
make
was
sure.
the best picture that you saw in 1985.
How old do you think I am?
Were
yeah,
you not
shit,
born
yeah.
in 1985?
Goddamn kids.
Not around.
Oh my god, man.
You weren't born in 85.
Yeah.
Not around.
He wasn't even
Dude,
coming his mother's eye.
He wasn't born in 1985.
Yeah, no, these fucking kids.
Wait a
I don't
minute,
think
wait a
this
minute.
guy was either.
86.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit's
Wait,
going
when
on.
did Michael Jackson's Bad come out? 87?
85?
85, I think.
85?
Yeah.
Wait,
no,
wait, hang
85
on.
was Thriller,
Sound
I
nerd.
think.
83,
No.
83.
81 or 82 was
Bad.
Thriller.
Where was
Really?
bad? Joey,
Bad
there
had
you
to
go.
be like 86.
Here's your nerd
I'm
time.
gonna say 82.
No way.
82 for Bad? No
Bad,
way.
Bad was
No,
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 earlier
no,
than
be-
86.
well,
No.
okay, so
I'm-
here's
Bad's later. Bad's like
yeah,
88.
here's my knowledge coming in.
I'm
because
staying 85.
because Fat was like 85 or it
Yeah,
was like
exactly.
87. Yeah.
Fat was 87.
Yeah. So
Bad,
that's
Bad had to be 86 or 87.
Exactly.
I'm
I'm
trying,
going with 85.
I'm trying to
sticking with
determine
85.
what.
Joey is currently looking this up.
I'm going to go with 86. If we agree that Fat is 87, I believe Bad would be 86.
All right, guys.
It might even be 84. Actually, I might. No, I'm going to stick with 84.
So the
I
first.
think it's 84. No, you know what? Beverly Hills Cop came out in fucking 84, I think, right?
Mhm.
Wheeler?
Yeah.
And so, and I'm pretty sure there's like the Bad Jackets with the Michael Jackson and that.
Mhm.
So
That's
it
a
might be
Beat It.
83.
That's a Beat It jacket.
That is a Beat It jacket.
It's a Beat It jacket.
Isn't
Yeah.
Beat It on Bad?
No.
No.
What's Beat It on?
Thriller.
Beat It is Thriller.
He's on
Oh, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. I'm sorry. 85 then. I'm sticking with it.
All right.
I'm going to say 86.
I'm still on
It
86.
shouldn't take like
My
10
weird-
minutes.
Yeah, man.
Sorry. Okay.
Check an email.
Are we are we ready here?
Yeah.
All right, so Thriller, 1982.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we knew that.
Bad, 1987.
What
Oh.
what
Wow.
Weird Al
What
is
was the
on
date?
his shit, yo.
September 1st.
date? Okay, so I was alive when Bad came out.
Wait, check
So that
Weird
was my
Al.
first Bad.
What was
that my
Fat?
first Jackson.
It must
album.
be 89 or 88.
No,
probably.
88 maybe.
I
But
feel like
think
it was
87
87 though.
That
I thought it
feels
was
like
that.
it,
Yeah.
man. Because I was in that prime age to fucking
I was with you,
dig
man.
into that.
I was
like,
right there.
Oh, but
1988 for Fat.
oh
Okay.
man,
Well,
no, he's still
whatever.
on his shit. Like, that's, but anyways,
So what did you think of the movie? So did you like Room?
no, it's not my genre.
Okay, got it. We don't have to go too far.
Yeah.
You saw The Big Short. How'd you like The Big Short?
I love it.
I love it. Well, no, actually,
You should know my flip floppies. But anyways, I'm always drawn to anything with a conspiracy bent. So and certainly the taking down of the big guys is a passion of mine.
Sure.
But,
this might be the wrong movie for you.
The
They
Big
don't-
Short?
They don't take anybody down.
the big well, they profit off of the failings of the bigs.
The Bigs, I think they came out okay.
They
I did, but
they ended up okay, but they lost a shit ton.
Maybe those dumbasses in Florida.
The three bigs that still stand came out okay. The 7 that they took down.
The true villains are fine.
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
There's no justice in that film.
No, there's no justice in the world.
Yeah.
Why would we expect that? But
that's why I'm saying I don't know if you enjoyed this, because there's really no punishment. There's no payback for most of the people.
I like the idea.
The people truly responsible are not held accountable.
No, but I like the idea of those guys making some cash off of seeing that failing coming soon. So
doesn't affect my life.
No, it doesn't, but it gives me hope. That's kind of I played in the stock market for, a little while for a few years. And that's always kind of like the hope that you're looking for, is that you can find that little niche that people are unaware of and you can exploit that to your own benefit. But yeah, so that, just had a personal appeal to me and the economics of the whole thing. But I think it was a little bit ham-fisted at times.
Okay.
So, some of their explanations with the lady in the bubble bath and
right. Yeah. The Margot.
I don't know.
Robbie.
Thank you.
She's a person.
I couldn't remember.
She's an actress. There's a difference.
She's Australian.
And then Selena Gomez.
Yeah. The Selena Gomez thing, actually, there was some merit, or at least visual representation of what was going on there.
Right.
So that was.
Oh, you guys talked about this in Texas Before Calling, didn't you?
Yeah,
we did.
That's right. I forgot about it. You had a funny fucking line. She's like a big baby or some shit, right?
She looks like a grown-up baby.
That was the funniest
I don't like it.
thing.
Totally.
That's
Too
great.
round.
That was so funny.
Too soft and round.
But of the others I saw, Mad Max Fury Road, I have nowhere near as high opinion of it as Mr. Bonier does here. As a fellow quasi-sound industry professional, I was certainly impressed with what was done in the sound arena, but to me that had no way made up for its lack of a plot.
Wait a minute. I wouldn't say it lacks a plot. It's just a very, very, very simple plot.
I'm going to drive 2 days in this direction, then I'm going to drive 2 days in that direction.
That's
Yay,
a plot.
we win. Yes.
There are movies that have no plot. That's not one of them.
I like that. I like the minimalist aspect.
We go from
of it.
point A
movies
to
that have
point
no
B
plot?
to point A.
Yeah.
What are some movies that have
I
no
saw
plot?
a 3.5-hour French film called The Mother and the Whore last week. That doesn't have a plot.
That was a porn,
Okay,
dude.
no plot.
That's-
It's not a porn. But that really is just like one episode after another. There is no driving
I have a
plot
small
to that.
question.
Okay.
What is the difference between plot and story?
Okay, so may I take this or do you want to
Please.
take it?
I have a simple answer. You probably have a more elegant
I
answer.
think there is a
Go ahead.
there's a definition, right? There's a specific.
My understanding is a story is what a film is about. The plot is how it is about it. The plot is the mechanics of the story. Point A to
Okay.
point B to
I
point
see.
C.
I see.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a
Okay.
good way to put it. I'll do it.
There are
like a-
plot points. But
Exactly.
the story is like an overall.
Yeah, the plot is literally just what happens. The story is sort of the sum total of the plot, the tone, the mood,
What it all means.
Yeah,
Okay.
the themes in general, right? The moral of the story, the premise, all that stuff. All of that combined is the story of it, the core of the story.
I see. I see.
Okay, so Fury Road had plot. It just had no story.
You could argue that, I guess.
No, there's plenty of story.
There's thematic
Because
ideas.
again, obviously, yeah, right. There's a whole thematic elements of it. You have to incorporate all.
It
of
has
that.
great characters. Great character
It might have.
development.
No, it was backwards. I think you meant it has plenty of story, but it doesn't have much plot. Or no,
He was saying it
did you
doesn't
think
have
there was no
a
point?
plot, which is technically incorrect. It does have a plot. He just doesn't like it.
Sure, it's a simple plot.
Well, yeah.
It has too simplistic a plot.
It is very much lacking in plot. Whether or not it is non-existent is mathematically arguable.
We've gone over this. I think most things have too much plot. That's why I don't like television.
I think
'cause
it's
it's
a fair
just plot.
point.
But you
point.
like Phantom Menace, so what
I
the
love
fuck,
Phantom
dude?
Menace.
Like, there's,
I love Phantom
there's
Menace.
nothing but like
Do you
arguing
really?
in politics.
I
and
love
shit.
Phantom Menace.
I'd love to talk about that later.
When people talk about the
He's got
two
like 3
things,
podcasts on it.
I'll be very brief on this.
Then I'll listen. Go ahead.
The Trade Federation stuff in Phantom Menace, it's maybe on screen for 11 minutes.
Yeah,
it's like
all right.
134
Yeah,
minute
nobody
long
really
movie.
cares that
so
much.
boring
Second-
though. It feels
Wait.
like an hour.
Second thing, as an adult, I want to know more about that. It's like when I watch Star Trek and they're delving into like the minutia of the society. Like, I want to know how these trade federations work. What are the trade routes? Who is the federation? Who are these? Japanese caricatures?
Sure.
How does their society function?
Yeah, but
We should
you're,
take
you're weird,
Japanese
man.
By the way, we should
Caricatures?
take just a quick minute here. I think we probably need to introduce our guest.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, who is that guy?
I think our listeners are probably aware at this point.
Me and
Maybe a
Nub.
few years from now, when they listen back to these,
Maybe
it'll be confusing.
some may not.
From
I
Return
don't
of the Jedi, Nien Nub.
No, but joining us on mic number 4 over there, coming in hot, is Mr. Eric the Wheelman Wheeler, co-host of Text Before Calling.
You hate that so much. I love how
That's
much you
why
hate
I
that.
play it.
I hate this fucking mic too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. O'Brien's on his
sorry.
mic.
This is
I'm
like
on-
something. This is like something a billy goat would chew on.
We'll switch at some point.
No, it's too late now.
No, you're a guest on the show.
Yeah,
That's your mic,
this
man.
is my mic for here, man. This is my mic.
Hate this.
I'm sorry.
Downgraded in the Faucast studios.
I'll just jump in for fucking Mad Max. It was like, when did it come out? In the summer, right?
Yeah, in the summertime.
In the
Middle of
summertime, right? Or no? Were you
Easily.
summertime?
My reference was something no one would get, but it's
Joey might.
Crocodile Dundee. He asked the tribal elders
Oh.
when he
Wheeler
was born,
might.
and they said in the summertime.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
get that.
You could also do Summertime Blues or
Yep.
Ain't
Ain't no cure for
or what's
the
that
summertime.
hot summertime shit.
Summer in the
Like-
city. That
Uh,
one.
Hot town,
Yeah.
summer in the city.
Back of my neck getting burned.
Oh, we
No,
probably
there's
shouldn't sing that
also
right now.
who does
Oh shit! I'm gonna pay
Oh
for
my
that.
God. Sly and the Family Stone, Hot Summertime.
Oh yeah. The okay. So
Anyways,
Plenty of songs about summer.
we
Anyway.
get it.
Exactly.
We get it.
I walked to the Grove and I just wanted to see a fucking random movie.
We have an
But I was in-
international audience.
So the
You
Grove
walked
is
into the
sorry,
Grove.
The Grove.
Plato's
You just
Cave.
walked into a
outdoor-
random
it's
field.
It's an outdoor mall in Los Angeles. It's like a mile and it's like it's like 3 miles away from me.
It's a landmark.
So
Yeah, it's.
yeah, so
By the
I
way, it's totally weird to walk 3 miles in LA.
Oh god, yeah.
only walk everywhere.
Yeah, but that is unusual.
But I'm not that far. I'm
You
like,
didn't
I'm
walk
like
here.
Sunset and Havenhurst. I'm
He's
not
from
that far.
Jersey.
Fucking walk here. No, it's 15 miles away. Anyway, so
Antisocial.
I just wanted to, I just, wanted a little bit of an escape. And I wasn't really sure, and I had heard Mad Max was fucking amazing. And I had never seen any of the previous Mad Maxes, so I had no idea what I was getting into.
Mad Maxies.
Mad Max A, I guess.
Max I.
Mad Max I, it would be.
Wouldn't that be a large
Mad
Mad
Maxi.
Max?
Yeah, no, that's, oh wait, no, yeah.
Shit.
Maxi?
Maxus. No, Maxus would be no, that's the, whatever. I
Maxi
don't,
Max?
my Latin is rusty, man. And I was sort of preoccupied. I don't remember why. I think I was in the middle of like a book or something like that. No, it wouldn't have been a book. I was whatever. I was writing something. And I walked and I'm like, I sat down and started watching. I'm like 15, 20 minutes into the movie. And it's still just this like fucking racing thing.
Mm.
But all I could do, and it was just me, and it was me and like maybe 3 other people in the theater, by the way, which is not the way to watch that movie. Like, you got to see it with a bunch of people or watch it at home. There's no fucking reason. It was big and it was cool and it was fine, but literally there was nothing going on. So to your point, I was like, there's nothing for me right now.
Wait, are we talking about
And
Phantom Menace?
No Mad Max, unfortunately. And it's a shame because I wanted to watch it, but I just couldn't. I just my heart and soul just wasn't in it. So I walked out.
Mm.
Walked
Okay.
out. I just left.
Wow.
I left and I got my money back, and I'm like, I'm not. I just fucking. I was like, I got somewhere to
Wow.
be. I can't. I'm
How
just gonna let
often
go.
are you apt to do that?
Yeah, that's my next
Never.
question.
Okay.
too. Well, that's
Never.
the first
Yeah.
time you've ever walked
I've
out of
done
a
that
movie.
once in
I've
my
walked
life.
out of a movie before, but I don't remember what, and I don't even really. And it's not that the movie was bad. It's not that it was bad. I just didn't care. I just genuinely didn't give a fuck. I was preoccupied, and
Wow.
it was fine. It just wasn't holding me at all, and
Yeah.
it's a shame. It's a bummer too. Like, I think if I had seen it when it first came out and it was nice and crowded, I would have been stoked. But I just didn't care. I'm sort of bored with the kind of the spectacle of movies right now. Unfortunately, it's a shame. I really, it's a bummer, but.
So you're jaded with the action
I think that's
superhero
part
type
of
of
it.
thing.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah,
Mm.
and this is so different from that. Which is like, if it had come out in any other year, I'd have been fine. But it's like,
Well-
most of the year, if I go to see a movie, it's whatever superhero movie is out, and I'm like, okay, cool.
I like that though. I like the backlash against the superhero movies. I'm kind of tired of them myself. I
I'm
think it's
so
enough already.
fucking.
We
And I've
like-
already
I'm
read all
sure
the
you feel
comics. I
same.
don't even want to see this.
Oh.
I've fucking read them all. I already know everything. If I wanted to see something, I'd read a comic.
Hmm.
But anyway, I'm wearing a DC Comics shirt right now. Come to think of it.
The
And anyway.
backlash, like Deadpool cleaning up at the box office.
And I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, but you know what? I wanted.
Crushing
I almost
ass.
went to go
Yep.
see it yesterday. I'd love to
Yeah.
see it. Is it
I
good?
saw
Have you
it.
seen it yet?
I haven't seen it.
Is it good?
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to see it.
I know nothing of Deadpool. I knew
Okay.
nothing walking in, but it was certainly an enjoyable movie. I think the thing that might throw some people is just the fourth wall breaking.
Right, but I love that.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
I think Ferris Bueller was like the first time I was aware of, what breaking the fourth wall did, or
Sure.
the effect it had on the audience or whatever. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Other than that, it was just a good action movie.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of pop culture references as well.
Okay.
So that I could see that throwing some people off, but the numbers are
they
certainly
wouldn't support that.
I mean,
everybody seems to love it.
I think the biggest thing is we show support for our movies, which is our rated movies, not our collective.
I was like, wow, Sean, that sounded racist.
It's funny you say that
That's one of ours.
because I've read Deadpool comics.
Mhm.
I watch most of these funny book things. I enjoy them
Funny
just
book things.
to a certain extent. I had no, and really don't have too much interest in seeing it. I'm not opposed to it. I just
Yeah.
don't really care. I think the thing that turned me off is it has that
Ryan
cheapo.
Reynolds.
No, it has that cheapo filmed in British Columbia Fox action shit to it.
So you didn't like
Where
it
it's
that
like,
much?
no, I've seen it. I'm saying I looked
Oh.
at the commercial. I was like, oh, this was a $55 million
Right.
production
Mhm.
filmed in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Got
I'll take a pass.
it.
Just like in the X-Men movies when it's like some big epic scene is happening
Sure.
and you're like, wait, why is Magneto in a forest? Oh, because they filmed in Canada.
Yeah.
As far as best pictures, I've seen everything except Bridge of Spies.
Mm,
So I've seen them all.
right on.
Has anyone seen Spotlight?
Yeah.
I saw
No.
Spotlight.
Yeah.
What do you think about Spotlight? And
great.
more is there a importance there of
So I saw
political importance?
Lots of khaki
Well,
pants.
yes and no. I think there's not a political importance, but there's an important. Well, okay, in a broader sense, yes, of course, because what it really does is it harkens back to the idea of responsible journalism, and that's truly what the movie is about. It's about responsible journalism. So it's got that sort of all the
And
president's
responsible institutions of all
Men.
kinds.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit.
Hmm.
So what have you seen?
I have not seen Bridge of Spies, Room, Brooklyn. I think I've seen the rest of them.
You should see Room, dude.
The Tommy
Yeah.
Wiseau thing?
I know it wasn't as funny as I was expecting.
No, I know a little bit about it.
You should see it.
I'm sure it's good.
Oh, you know a little bit about it.
It really sounds
Oh, then it
unappealing.
doesn't really matter. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you know a little bit,
I'm
about
sure
it,
it's
then
very
don't.
well done.
Yeah.
For
I would almost say
whatever reason,
I
I don't know.
think it might win Best Picture, man.
Room?
I think it is because
I
The
wanna-
Revenant is the only other one that I think might, but like I think that there might be just too much baggage behind it, and it's really not. Again, we talk about no fucking plot, but it's like it also is. I think that script was like 100 pages, and it was like a tight, nice kind of like
Yeah.
thriller revenge plan.
and
it
it's
was like
extremely
3 hours
heartstring
fucking
tuggy. Like,
DiCaprio is wonderful in it and all. And it's
oh,
great.
no, I
It's
was
just-
thinking.
Wait,
of
what the
Room,
fuck are we
sorry.
talking about?
Yeah, never mind.
I was talking about the Revenant.
Revenant
Yeah.
is not 100 pages long, is it?
The script, yes.
Then why is the movie 180 hours long?
Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. That's my point. It's good, but it's it's just a little bit. I don't know. It's too fucking.
I'm not the world's biggest Tom Hardy fan, but he is incredible in that
He's
movie.
wonderful. No, I fucking love Tom. Everybody in the
We
movie
did
is
what
great.
we had to do.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful movie. It's good. I don't think it's gonna win Best
I
Picture.
think it's fine. I don't know if I'd say it's
What do you think's
wonderful.
gonna win Best Picture? The
What
Big
do I-
Short was my favorite.
What do I think is going?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just Oscar like prognostication.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think The Big Short will win.
That would be fucking awesome. I hope it does.
Yeah, I like
But
that
one
was
the
my
most.
favorite.
That's sort of outside of what I think should win. or
What do you think
I
should
hope
win?
Of the, let me even look.
Yeah.
Sure.
These are.
Because then I got a follow up question to that. So while he's looking, Brooklyn was sort of like, I love how we're just gonna like sit here and watch him on the radio, or not the radio. I don't know what to call this fucking thing,
We
man.
still don't.
The,
Of the ones
The
I've
Cloud.
seen here,
Oh, he's back. Okay.
Big Short, and I wasn't the world's biggest fan of it. Big Short and Mad Max, I
Yeah.
think were my two favorites.
Okay.
Of
Yeah.
the ones I saw.
most
Yeah.
enjoyable, certainly.
Mad Max, Fury Road, second best Mad Max movie, easily.
What was the best?
Warrior.
Just
Thunderdome.
I mean, Thunderdome, the first hour of Thunderdome is pretty legit.
Two
When
men
he-
enter, one man leaves.
When he goes to that weird, like, child commune by the creek or whatever,
Mhm.
that part's like Peter Pan. I don't know. That part's
Yeah.
very odd.
so you think it
Hmm.
should win?
I think of those movies nominated that I've seen, those are the two best.
What's your justification for saying?
Now,
that
neither
they
one of those
should?
movies is as good as The Road Warrior. That's not a joke. Road Warrior is one of the 3 best action movies ever made.
Okay.
That's
Fury
a
Road's
bold
pretty
statement.
good.
If I haven't seen The Revenant, but if I had to bet, I would definitely be on The Revenant. If I had to put money on it.
That you think the Revenant?
I'll
will win
even
Best
It
rank
Picture?
seems like the movie that would win.
I'll
think-
even rank them for you.
I
seems
think
like-
that's what I thought before I saw.
I haven't
fucking
even
all of
seen it,
them.
honestly. I'm just
It's
saying.
It's
Yeah.
it's good.
From
It's
my
fine.
outsider
Have you
opinion.
seen it yet?
No, just from.
You would like it, actually, Sean.
I'm
this-
scared for your justification, but
Well, I'll put it this way.
from what I've heard about it anyway.
It's
a
not
long-
a bad. Oh, really? What have you heard about it? That
Just
you think is
Leo raped by a bear.
No, it's not.
He's
yeah,
not
so
raped by a bear.
He's not raped by a bear.
Yeah.
So The funny thing about The Revenant, it was good, but honestly, I felt like the movie was calling me a pussy for like 3 hours. It was just like, oh, you little bitch, you can't fucking do anything, can you? You're not a real man. I was like, dude, take it easy, movie. All right, I'm fine. All right,
I might
but it was
like that.
literally just exactly. Yeah, it's a very tough, rugged, like fucking old
It's
school.
like something to wake up and yell at yourself in the mirror about.
Sort of. It just it makes you either feel tough, like yeah, I could do that shit, or it makes you feel like not tough and be
You could
like,
put that
I
movie
guess
in your
it's fine.
coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Sure.
Eggs. Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
The bear scene is incredible. That
Yeah, it's
attack
great.
scene's amazing. Did
Yeah.
you see the photo of the guy wearing the green screen bear costume?
No,
So apparently, instead of just doing it pure CGI or whatever,
Sure.
I never thought about this, but they
no, you had to. Yeah,
they had a dude
Mocap.
in green screen actually
course.
throwing Leo around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the photo of him in the green screen bear suit is hilarious.
That's funny, man.
You have to
they
look
had
it
they had plenty. They had like the rubber on the trees and shit like that. They were
Uh-huh.
all, like rubber trees. But it was funny.
I have a
Anyway.
question about a
Rubber trees?
I've heard
Basically, yeah.
I've heard a lot of.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Nice.
I was gonna say I heard a lot about the crew of the Revenant. They were complaining a
Yeah.
lot about supposedly about the the horrible
the
conditions.
elements, yeah.
Exactly.
So
Bad
I guess
Get the
producing.
shot, man. Get the
yeah,
Oh,
shot.
and
Jesus.
this kind of brings us home to all of us
Bullshit.
because we've all worked in lots of sets.
Yep.
I'm sure independent films and a lot less budgets than this, and where there's been lots of crazy issues where we've been a lot less safe than this. I'm
Oh
sure.
God, yeah.
Anyways, the point is that I guess my larger point is that can the ends justify the means? Like if he's getting art, at the expense of people's safety, or maybe someone's life was not obviously it wasn't, but let's someone's
But
safety.
there
Well,
are
great
movies that
question.
people have died on, and no, I don't think it's ever worth it for someone to die.
Of course
Yeah.
not. Of course
And
not. But I
that's the-
mean,
but
What if that is
again,
the art?
um,
What if that
That's-
is the
well,
art?
that's the collaborative art thing, though.
Right.
So, like, not everyone on a movie is a goddamn artist.
Right.
Like, there's a couple of people that you could say the director in the auteur theory, but it's kind of a weird thing, anyways. But it's these people are basically hired to create your art.
Right.
So if you were commissioning a sculpture, the guy that welds it might not necessarily be the artist. You might design it, and you might be the one creating the design of that.
Mhm.
And then there is a guy you hire for $20
Right.
an hour to do actual welding. So that
yeah, in the movie sense, no. In the movie sense, absolutely not. Responsible filmmaking is paramount. No.
do you
fucking
think that
questions
it could
asked. But as far
theoretically
as-
not win Best Picture because of that factor?
Yeah, I think it is.
it
possible.
should,
I think it is possible.
It
that
should
that,
factor
that,
in.
That could
I
definitely.
I
factor
think
in.
it should too.
I think it does. And
especially
I think it will.
especially with
Be
the
honest with
Midnight
you.
Rider thing. I mean,
Yep.
Sarah
Sarah
Jones,
Jones.
Oh, right, yeah.
like that. I mean, if that hasn't brought home yet to Hollywood how we need to be a little bit more responsible with our people. We get these every 3 to 5 to 10 years or whatever. There's always some new poster child for taking care of your fucking crew, but you should not be rewarded for
Right, exactly. It should just be the fucking norm, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's how you fuck. It's just people. Everybody's kind of there to fucking foster the movie that you're doing. It's not your movie either. It's every fucking person who's working on the film. They're all creating this movie itself. So everybody has a part in that, and everybody's fucking hour matters. Everybody's life matters.
Totally.
Everybody's fucking fingernail matters. All that shit is important. If everybody cares about the story itself and telling the story,
Yeah.
then that's what matters.
Yeah, even if you make the
But
best
you have to
movie in the
care-
world, I don't
it
think
doesn't-
it's
yeah,
justify.
Yeah, I would say it's not justified. As far as movies, it's not. Art, as far as is a larger question, I don't know. Yes, in some ways, I think that somebody you can die for their art. I think
When
it's-
we
I
were
think it's
bombing
fine.
Berlin, should we have been running in that before the bombs hit and grabbing the art and the whole?
No,
Oh
Total
well, there's a
War,
different
Total
thing there.
War.
Well, no, there's a different thing there. Then that's like the
We
art
did
kind of
do a little
preservation
bit
and
of
stuff
that.
like
Yeah.
that.
We did.
And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the creation of art. It's the creation of
Yeah,
art
it's
worthy
subtle.
of yeah. So we can talk. But as far as the preservation of it, no,
Yeah.
it goes in the same thing as that. If
This is
we
my
go into the we have that's a whole again.
Yeah,
Our what is
bigger
art?
issue.
Our art. What is the art episode is definitely a question in that as far as
This is my final-
is the Mona Lisa more valuable than a person's life? But go ahead.
Yeah, it is. This is my
It's
final
amazing.
masterpiece, Man in Volcano. That's all I want to say.
Okay,
Put in a Man in Volcano.
fair enough.
Joe versus the volcano.
Great
But no,
film.
it would have to be the
It
artist
is.
himself.
That's
being
what I'm saying.
man involved. Okay, so that's
my
you.
final masterpiece, Man in the Volcano, me being the man.
How are you presenting this?
Just jumping in.
There's a
But
movie.
how are you
GoPro?
preserving it as art though?
It's a performance piece.
Drone
How are people watching this?
They're not.
from satellite
It's
pictures.
private. It's a private commission.
Is
How is it
if
remembered?
a tree falls in the woods
How's it
and no one
remembered?
figured it?
How are people going to hear about it?
There's a blog spot about it.
So okay, so via the internet, everybody gets to hear
My
about this.
my brother will have a blog spot about it. Yes,
So it's
Mm.
it's whatever he writes about.
sure. It's
Is
a private
your brother a
commission.
good writer?
So isn't that his
No.
art inspired by your death?
No, he's just reporting.
He's just reporting. So okay, so but is it very kind of like
maninvolcano.blogspot.com.
no? I understand, but how is he reporting it?
We do not have right.
Very matter of fact. I'm actually not kidding. I'm really interested in this.
Are they
'Cause
eloquent
it's an
prose?
interesting
It
point.
is. It's matter
No,
of fact.
because it might not be. Like if it's eloquent prose, that helps, and it's equally
No.
helpful if
His
it's
re-
not.
his
yeah,
reporting
if it's just
is-
reporting.
His reporting is not the art. The
I don't
art
think that's
is the
the
performance.
point. I
No,
think, yeah,
no.
the-
Yes,
jumping
the
to
art
volcano.
is the performance, but the only way people hear about it is by way of whatever this is. Though it's preserved that way.
I don't give a rat's ass how people hear about it.
If nobody ever saw the Mona Lisa,
Uh-huh.
is it the Mona Lisa?
Yes.
Okay.
If some dude's
it-
telling you about it.
Is it the most legendary work of art ever? No.
Right.
It's still called the Mona Lisa, yeah.
But how do we hear about the Mona Lisa if we've never seen it or heard about it at all? Period.
If we don't
So-
hear about it, then no, we'd never hear about it, obviously.
Right, and then but how do
Wow.
we exactly? So how do we witness it? How
Why
are we able to understand that it's there?
Who says I want people to witness my
You don't have
final masterpiece?
Again, that gets into the question of what is art.
Thank you.
It just gets into the larger question of what is art. That's all. We're gonna have to answer.
What
that
you're
one.
talking about is mass market horse shit.
Fair enough.
I'm talking about private commissions on a tropical island outside
By the way,
of international law.
I love this idea.
Right.
We're gonna explore this later.
You love it going into a volcano.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I think it's an interesting exhibition.
I think
just,
people
I
should
just
only
want to make
die-
sure it's preserved correctly.
People should only die for
I
bad
think-
art.
The art historian. That's funny. That's true.
They
I
should be
think
killed for bad art.
Yeah.
and that's also equally artistically interesting.
Well,
although this goes into a whole
Art
other
and the
episode.
preservation of art are not the same thing, though.
You're right,
No,
it's
true.
not. But I'm interested in both.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying I'm interested in this exhibition that you're trying to do.
Sure.
Anyway,
That's a real thing. It's not a joke.
Best picture though. So sure, whatever we predict or when it. So I asked earlier an important question, right? What is your justification for saying that one of these should win over the other?
Just personal preference.
Okay, cool. Now, again, that's basically ultimately how it's going to be decided, right? A bunch of people are going to vote on it, and whoever has the most votes, that's what wins.
And what
That's
they
the
happen
reality
to
of what the
watch and
Oscars
what they
are.
have. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't
So
think
are
they're
they
running
better statistical analysis. huh?
statistical analysis. Yeah, I don't think they're doing any compare and contrast. It's just what do I like the best.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and then a bunch of
total
people
gut
vote on
feeling.
it, and whatever it is, yeah. And, well, it's just-
Collective gut feeling.
yeah, and it's just whatever wins. Whoever wins is whatever wins.
Yeah.
I
So
don't-
then, should we give any credence? So I mean, sure. So okay, the question at hand, of course, is like, should we
Should
What
we
is
give
it? Should
awards
we-
for art?
should we give awards for art?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, because it might deaden the idea of art itself.
Yeah.
Once you
How
say
so?
that one thing is better than another piece of art,
Uh huh.
it starts to open up the question of
is it
okay,
right
well,
to make art competition?
right? Exactly.
Why not?
It encourages.
I'm not claiming
better.
that it is or isn't.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Sure,
is
yes.
it? So so why?
Yeah.
So is art quantifiable?
Why is it going to destroy the other art if it doesn't win?
No,
Possibly.
that's a false.
It could
yeah,
discourage
don't-
that
don't-
form of art.
Don't bite that shit. Don't bite on that fucking philosophical flawed
I don't-
argument over here.
I think if a film doesn't win and a film like that is never ever made again, this maybe isn't a very good film at all. Like it must have zero value if no film like it. Let's say someone makes a someone makes a drama about schizophrenia, okay?
Okay.
And it doesn't win Best Picture. And no one ever makes another film about schizophrenia ever because it lost Best Picture. That seems weird to me. And that seems like an
Well,
overreaction.
What the fuck
Like
are you
what?
talking
Like
about?
what's the point of making these dramas if it's not going to win Best Picture?
It's an honor just to be
Wait.
nominated.
Yeah,
So, I mean, the
gotcha.
greater point there, though, is, you know,
the attention.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that the awards exist. So if you're going to quantify art, at some point you're going to say there's good art, which means at some point you're going to say there's bad art. So
Sure.
once we say that there's bad art, first off, I don't think that that is a thing. I think art is
Well,
intrinsically.
well, no. I don't think that's a false equivalency. I don't.
Okay.
I don't think saying that there is good art means that you ultimately have to say that there's bad art.
well, we've decided that we're quantifying it, so we've decided that there is some sort of scale there. So
But the scale
is-
could be not art or good art.
right, and so well,
Do you see what I'm saying?
Not really, because there's art and there's better art. There is
Right. Exactly.
But you know, I think not.
And then bad art could be not art.
Yeah, I think that's further off the spectrum, but I think the part of the problem, you know, I don't have a problem with people making non-artistic things. I guess that's advertisement, or that's
I know it can still be art, but
well, yeah,
This sounds like the
I guess that's
Supreme
what I'm
Court
saying,
argument.
ultimately.
Like I know it when I see it.
yeah, exactly. That
Well,
and that's art, isn't it?
it
I mean-
perhaps we'll save that. We'll table that discussion. But for the moment, I'm sorry. Continue.
I lost it.
It's just their opinion, man.
Yeah.
Like whatever award show. I think everyone should have. Well,
But should we
I
be
think people should be
awarding
aware one way or another. It's just human beings' opinions, and opinions change over
Then
time.
why are we awarding it in the first place if it's just someone's opinion? Why are we doing it?
Why not? Why shouldn't you honor someone's
I
opinion?
didn't say we shouldn't. I'm asking you why we should, and you said we should. So
Is it-
tell me why we
is it
should.
beneficial?
I think it's good. Yeah, I think it is beneficial.
Okay, how?
I think you can reward films. It rewards films that have accomplished things, or rewards filmmakers who have a certain vision.
Okay.
And I think it can call attention to films. I think the bad part is when the same film is honored by everyone.
Okay.
And overshadows everything else. But I think it's good that there's Cannes and there's Berlin and there's the Academy Awards and there's different awards, different festivals that honor different types of films. And basically all it is giving attention to films.
Why is the attention good?
Because otherwise people might not even bother, and they might only see Deadpool 7,
Like-
and they might never bother to see The Lives of Others or
So
whatever.
What was
So
the
you're saying
original?
ultimately diversity within the kind of
Calling attention to things that might otherwise not get the average person's attention, or even a cinephile's attention.
Okay, so you're opening it up in a broader sense of all awards.
Yeah, any kind of award.
Any awards
Any
is
award
good
that
because
starts a conversation is
Okay.
a good thing. That's how I look at
that's
it.
an interesting point.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll give you that. Absolutely.
Winning or losing, treating it like sports, I think, and there are people who do that, I think that's idiotic.
Okay,
Mm.
why?
Because it's not like sports. It's someone's opinion. It's not like, sports are, you can't argue it. Michael Jordan made the shot or he missed the shot. You can argue
No, he fucking made it. Okay.
you can argue the
That was a foul ball. It was foul.
you can argue the Revenant achieved its goals or didn't, or maybe failed
Yeah.
nobly or whatever.
Well said. Very well
Yeah.
said.
Mm.
But it's not a win-loss thing. Like, this is an award. It doesn't really affect the film. It's not like the Revenant next season is going to draft a better director because it wins best. Like, the art is the same.
Sure.
The art is done. Whatever recognition it gets is not superfluous, but an addendum to the actual art itself.
Well, I think
Whereas with sports, winning affects the next season. Winning affects the future. Yes, you could say winning affects like what the director does, what the actors do, whatever.
Yeah, I would say
But
it does. I don't know.
Art, a film is a singular thing in a way that a sports season or sports team is not singular.
I would almost say it's the opposite. I think that the sports winning affects the previous season in the sense of its legacy. You know what I mean? Because if we're ultimately talking about legacy in a weird way, like the award, whether you win something or lose something, is kind of the thing's legacy.
Sure.
You know
When
what
you're
I
a kid, though, I guess some kids grow up wanting to be like, I want to win Best Director. I want to win Best Picture.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's on the same level of kids being like, I want to be an NFL player. I want to win the Super Bowl. That's the only goal.
Yeah, no, it'd be the equivalent of I want to be a director. I want to be a film. I want
I
to
think
be a
most
filmmaker.
people
I
wanna
want to
be
be
a
a
film-
director / I want to be
They
a
want to
baseball
direct
player. I wanna be
films
this.
that mean something to people, or they
Right.
want to put their story on the screen or whatever. And winning Best Director would be nice, but it's not necessarily the ultimate goal.
Well-
Whereas winning the Super Bowl is the end point of being an NFL player.
Well, yes, but
Not
No,
necessarily.
yeah,
Yeah,
the equivalent.
Yeah,
the-
no,
the-
I agree with Wheeler.
You're jumping though. You're jumping. I think it's a kid would say I want to be a film director or I want to be a baseball player, and then that same kid may say I want to win an Oscar
Uh-huh.
and I want to win the World Series. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying is you can win tons of awards. An Oscar is one of them. There's really only one baseball championship.
There's only one Oscar.
But what I'm saying is there are other acting awards. There's a Cannes acting award. There's a Berlin acting award.
Yeah, but those aren't
Yeah,
the
but they're
major
not-
league. I
yeah.
mean, you can
Oh,
get
you don't think the
win a
Palm-
minor
You
league
say I
World
want to
Series.
win World Series for fucking the Mets or some shit.
You don't think the
Well,
Palme d'Or is a major award?
well,
It's-
of course
it's
I
still
do,
not an
but it's not
Oscar.
a question of
What if,
exactly.
what if you're
It's
a Frenchman?
It's still the minor leagues. We don't. This is Hollywood. We don't care about anyone else. I mean,
Do you think a Frenchman would be more inclined to care about an Oscar over the Palme d'Or or the Palme d'Or over the Oscar? It depends. I think it depends on the filmmaker. That's the thing.
I would say a Frenchman. I mean, I'm just guessing here, obviously. I would say a Frenchman would care more about a Palme d'Or than an Oscar, but
a French
about,
director,
more about an Oscar than a César or whatever their award.
right? Yeah.
But a Palme d'Or is a very prestigious award.
Well, then we get the Golden Bear, right? The Golden Bear is what?
But
Berlin?
even then, like
Or is that Venice?
it's not Golden Bear is
It's Berlin, I think.
No, Golden Bear is
Is it
Venice.
Venice? It is
Because
Venice.
Golden Lion is
Yes.
Berlin. Or am I going backwards?
Maybe I
with that?
think whatever. In any event,
One
the
of
point
them's
is,
Lions, one of them's Bear.
yeah,
Bear's got to be Berlin.
I think yeah, right. It's got to be Berlin.
Berlin.
What? That's the way you did
Yeah,
it.
has
Sure.
to be.
All right.
but I
let's
think we
do
were
it.
talking about
Mnemonic.
the original intent of the Oscars. Did we? Either
Go
way.
for it. Talk about it now.
So, I mean, the Oscars are essentially or were made to promote the industry.
Yeah, it was a party.
It wasn't intended.
You know
to
what it
be-
actually
It was an
originally started
industry
off-
awards show.
No, you know what it actually really
It's a
started
circle
off
jerk.
as? It started off to kind of to not defeat, but to what the fuck is the word? To hold off the unions.
Mm.
The unions were trying to come into Hollywood, and the studio heads were
Good
like,
job.
"We need right." Well, they basically were like, well, "Let's do the Oscars," and it was just a party to sort of award
Yeah.
the recipients themselves, and they knew about it beforehand, so it was just like a random thing.
Mm.
They announced who was going to win. It was held in the Blossom Room at the Roosevelt. Everybody came. Fun fact, I think we will have mentioned it later. I mentioned this again in the next episode you guys will hear. Nominated for Best Actor was Rin Tin Tin, the dog. So
Deservedly so.
I know, fair
Mhm.
enough though. You're right. The
He's the only one, right?
only animal to ever be nominated.
Yeah.
For, I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Only
Really?
German.
Babe Pig in the City didn't get it.
He was a different pig. A couple different pigs.
Oh,
guys ever-
sh-
oh, wait.
Rin Tin Tin was only one dog.
Probably.
Originally.
Probably.
yes.
Really?
There were probably several Rin
I
Tin
feel like they
Tins.
killed a few in the
No, yeah, exactly. But I
thinking
think
Milo
within
Notice.
the
Oh,
movie.
they killed tons of Milo
Wait,
notices.
yeah. Wow.
Have you guys seen Babe?
Milo and Otis A.
What is that?
Have you guys seen Babe Pig in the City?
Odyssey?
Yeah,
Babe
I don't
Pig in
think
the City?
so. I
Yeah.
don't think so.
I'm sure.
It's directed by George
I think you
Miller.
said Bay of Pigs
Oh,
in the
yeah.
city.
It's directed exactly the same as Fury Road.
Okay.
It's just cute animals instead of mongrels.
So
I'll
they
watch
run
it.
for an hour
Babe-
in one direction and an hour in the other.
Yeah.
Right
Babe
on.
Pig in the City is fucking awesome.
I'm on board.
I'm not kidding.
The
Well-
original Babe was good.
But again, it was so the awards themselves didn't matter at the first part. They really didn't matter. It was just a party, and in a
Well,
weird way,
Hollywood
it's
didn't
still...
really matter at that point.
Well,
but-
you know what? That's a funny thing too. I think that's ultimately what. So I think it was Frank Capra. Frank Capra eventually became both the head of the DGA,
Hmm.
the union, of course, and the head of the Academy
Hmm.
at the same time within the same year. And ultimately,
Corruption.
Right. Yeah, well, no. The
Conspiracy.
exact opposite. The exact opposite. He was the one who basically started to promote the Academy Awards as this is a serious art for him to be looked at. This is, and the what was paramount was to award great filmmaking, great pictures, and he wanted everyone to avoid politics. He wanted everyone to avoid getting into the kind of
Like
nitty-gritty thing. in
internal
just movies.
politics or like national politics?
Both.
Okay.
Both, which of course is a huge argument that people say now as well, right? That like, oh, that's not the time. Someone makes a political statement at the Oscars, that's not the time. And of course, I've always argued,
one is the fucking time.
right, it's the time. And you got the mic, you do whatever
You have something
need,
to
it's
say.
fine.
Say it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shoot your shot.
yeah, it's tough.
What, you're gonna break into the middle of your movie and start talking
Right,
about your
exactly.
political beliefs? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
And there's of course a whole discussion to be had there, but Joey.
Yeah.
Should we award?
Yes, I think we should.
Why?
I think it encourages other good art.
Okay.
I think my other question is, why do we reward certain art over other art? Specifically, why do we if we can go back to the Oscars? Why are we obsessed with acting? Why is that there are why do we?
Hollywood
They're
star
the
system.
ones. Yeah, they're well, not even that. Just they're the ones that the audience relates to.
Yeah.
They're the reason that you're watching the movie.
That's why the star system exists.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
That
It's just
connection.
they're,
The human
they're the
face.
connection. Like it or hate it. That's who the audience connects to, and pretty much always will.
You can
I
replace
agree.
Character.
You can replace an AC in the middle of a movie. You can't replace an actor.
Replace the fucking director in the middle of it
True. Yeah.
4 times over and
Yep.
still get Gone with the Wind, but kind of change Scarlett O'Hara.
Yeah.
It's going to be a different Scarlett O'Hara. You have to reshoot it.
So in some ways, are the actors more responsible as the artists? Are they the star quarterback
No,
of the team?
they're the representative.
They are the star quarterback. Yeah, that's a good way to
But
put
they're
it.
not the
actually.
coach.
You know what I mean? But
They're not the coach.
They're not the coach.
Sometimes they're
Even
both.
quarterback seems a little
that's fair.
runny. Well, okay, I don't know anything
They-
about
Oh, what do you-
sports.
okay.
No,
I mean,
can agree with
isn't
that.
the quarterback generally the general on the field?
Yes.
Like they're the one calling the shots.
Yeah.
And so in those,
But they're
few
operating within a greater scheme.
right, but so is a director. So
Exactly.
in those few instances where you have a Tom Cruise or someone, yes, I could certainly consider them a quarterback. But the vast majority of actors, I don't believe that they have the input into the movie. They can either take it or not.
No,
for the
they
most
do.
part.
That's the key. That's because they can either not say it or say it.
Or they can do it correctly or they can fumble.
Well,
Well done. Well done.
To give it a sports equivalency, I would probably say that the producer is like the owner of the team.
sure.
That's just what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the
coach is
director
the
would be like the
director.
coach, and then the star quarterback would be
The director's drawing up the
the actor.
schematics. The actor's the one who actually has to say the
Yeah.
lines, complete the
Yeah,
blocking.
they're the one executing it and really
Alright.
making it happen. The grander scheme that Wheeler was
Yeah.
talking about is the director / coach.
Nice. I don't know shit
Just
about
like-
sports.
No, it's fair. It's a great question. No, it's
Well,
important.
and a quarterback, if the defense looks different than what the coach was expecting, can call an audible. Just like a actor could say, I want to change this line or this blocking or whatever because I know this sounds good, but it's like impossible to deliver,
I don't
and I can't actually do it given this context.
So is there a
reasonable.
way? So is there? Okay. So, but Joey, is there a way to award both elements of the art and not deaden the award itself? In other words, if there was a separate, like there is for the Golden Globes, if there was a separate Oscar category for best comedy and
Yeah.
best drama, or should you be separating the art itself, or are all movies the same? Do genres not matter, or should? And if that's the case, why don't we have a horror Oscar? Why don't we have a musical Oscar still?
That's a good question. I like the idea of somewhat splitting up by genres because it doesn't seem like the Oscars are giving fair shots to the lesser known genre.
Probably why they have 10
rewarded.
now, though.
Yeah, I think it's a good
But
step.
it's still 10 fucking nut dramas.
Yeah, especially
It also
for-
ends up meaning that all the fucking movies come out between like Thanksgiving and now.
No. The Martian was a comedy.
Well,
It
This
was
still says
funny.
Harvey Weinstein.
Well, this leads me to my next one because I wanted to talk about acting. But like, do you guys think that Matt Damon deserves? Do you think Leonardo DiCaprio? Let me just go through them quickly. So, best actor, leading role: Bryan Cranston, Trumbo; Matt Damon, The Martian; Leonardo DiCaprio, The Revenant; Michael Fassbender, Steve Jobs; Eddie Redmayne, The Danish Girl.
Did anyone on planet Earth see Trumbo? Anyone
No,
who's not in a
unfortunately.
guild?
No.
No, unfortunately.
So, should we award
even
someone
download a
the best
screener.
best acting Oscar on a basis of career, almost like we're giving
Yeah.
Cranston
Is it a
career
lifetime
award?
I
achievement
don't think
award?
you should. if
Seems
that's
like
what you're
we've done it
asking.
in the past.
That,
Of
that's,
course
it's
they have.
traditional.
yeah, we have. Yeah, it's tradition.
Well, so actually, the bigger question though is DiCaprio than Cranston.
Right.
I mean,
Did he? I think DiCaprio probably did the best performance though of any of them
I-
in general as well. Though I would say.
Well,
I haven't
only,
seen it.
I've only
It's-
seen
In
two.
fairness, I haven't
Wait,
seen Trumbo, but
yeah.
No, I've seen 3 of
Well,
them.
what about DiCaprio versus Matt Damon in The Martian? Do you do prize
I think
one,
Damon would kick
one
his ass.
performance over the other?
Honestly,
man.
I would say
Nah.
I agree there.
I would say
No,
Damon's
you
the
never
better
have
role.
seen the movie.
no,
no,
just
I was
fight,
talking a physical fight.
fight wise.
Oh yeah, for sure. Matt Damon would
yeah,
definitely. kick
DiCaprio
fucking
looks soft.
DiCaprio's ass.
He's been smoking too much weed.
You like apples, or is that the other guy?
That's Matt Damon.
Yeah, same difference.
Do you like apples? Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples? Yeah, Matt Damon would kick DiCaprio. Well, we get The Departed. The Departed. Watch The Departed.
That's true.
He does kick his
Wow,
ass.
good
Yeah.
call.
I don't think they actually fight in that, but
Mm.
But do you think that DiCaprio's performance is more difficult, so therefore deserves Best Oscar, or is it based off difficulty?
ooh, difficulty. Go ahead, Wheeler.
I think Matt Damon's performance is more difficult. It's a one-man show for
Yeah.
over half the movie.
It was for. I would say percentage wise, it's the same for The Revenant. Have you not seen The
Okay.
Revenant?
But what I'm saying is
uh,
Matt Damon has to entertain the audience.
Oh, okay.
Literally in the movie.
Well,
he's
that
trying
gets
to
into that
entertain
comedy
himself.
question.
Yeah.
man.
Right.
Like,
But that's what I'm saying is Matt Damon does comedy and drama sort of equally in that movie. Whereas DiCaprio, I think he does what's asked of him. I think it's just a very hyper-focused, like tunnel vision role
Mm.
of, drooling from the mouth and crawling across the landscape. And he's good. He does it as well as anyone could possibly do it. It's just not a very nuanced performance.
But
Like
is it,
Tom Hardy wipes the floor with him because he's playing a fun, interesting character. DiCaprio's just like, I love my son. I want to avenge my son. Okay.
It's
He doesn't have much of an arc.
it's a very Liam Neeson role, isn't it?
it's
Liam
nuanced.
Neeson even at least has jokes.
It's
But what
pretty, it's pretty nuanced.
what about the
don't
argument
know. I
that you're
don't think
becoming
so.
something
it's
different?
all in though.
Like
What?
what about the argument that if you become something, the
Transformation.
more transformation? Like
Sure.
for instance, Eddie Redmayne, obviously,
the less
becoming-
you see of the character.
That's obviously some
or the
can
actor.
we argue that's more difficult than Matt Damon because he's almost in some ways playing himself. He's kind of that's kind of him, and so I bet
Playing
I mean,
it.
that is fun.
I've always argued
What do
playing
you think,
yourself is far more difficult than people give it credit for.
That's
Like,
true.
when
It's
people
true.
complain about Cruise or Damon or whoever playing themselves in role after role. Having a persona and being able to project that time after time is not easy. No, if you look at anyone on camera, they're not themselves.
But is it easier than Eddie Redmayne?
Okay, so it's the important distinction that you need
Time
to
after
make though
time.
is the fact that to have a persona
Uh-huh.
is not easy. Yeah, that's very true. To play yourself is easy.
But
I
I,
don't
think
think
once
so.
you do it, then you.
I think
it's
most people
harder
don't
to
know
do
who they
something
are.
else.
Well, yes, exactly. That's the point. That to play, so then you are playing a persona.
Yeah,
but
you're
if
still
you are
playing a
just playing,
character.
yeah,
You
see what I'm
construct
saying?
it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's constructed.
Mm.
But I mean, if you just fucking have a
Well, I guess what I'm saying is Tom Cruise is a performance. It's not.
totally.
I have no idea who Tom Cruise is.
And I don't think
the person
Tom Cruise
I've
knows.
seen in 30 movies. I think Tom Cruise knows what he wants us to think.
Sure. Oh no, I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, he himself
Yeah.
knows who he himself is.
Yeah,
He wants
maybe.
to be. He knows what his persona.
Right.
Is
He knows
expected.
what
And
he
it
wants
is
to
hard do
project.
that. Yeah,
He knows
exactly.
that
And
Lord
it's
Zeno
definitely
will
not
be
easy
here
to do
soon.
that.
I think
Right.
whenever you're doing the Eddie Redmayne thing where you're becoming a quadriplegic or becoming a woman or whatever, in some ways it's easier because you can hide behind those things. Or you can, if you're mimicking Stephen Hawking, you can just nail that impression.
Yeah, I mean, see, what's funny is I think half the time is with acting, it's not. People always think it is like putting a mask. I feel like I'm quoting somebody else, but you say they're putting a mask on, but in many ways, acting is actually taking a mask off. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And that's most of the time. So it's.
I think in
with
his-
an Eddie Redmayne thing,
I
it's
think
not like
he
you can
is-
actually hide behind it because you actually have to bring out these elements of yourself inside of those.
The-
Because the camera will fucking find it if you
The
did.
Stephen Hawking
Who
thing,
the fuck
though.
am I ripping off? Who
I don't
said
know.
that? Someone said that shit that I just.
I don't
anyway.
read
The mask
shit.
thing?
Colin Trevorrow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Director
I
of
think it's a
Jurassic
famous
World.
like acting coach, or
Probably.
acting teacher. One of those people who write the books. Or
I don't think it was like a standalone. It was like someone. It was like a regular actress who just whatever. Anyway, gotcha.
Well, it's kind of like, what's his name? The guy who won for the King's Speech.
Oh,
Colin Firth,
Colin Firth. Colin Firth is a technically
proficient.
very gifted actor,
Right.
proficient actor. But like, especially in that performance, you see the gears working and you see him just nailing everything, every accent,
Right.
every tick, every movement so perfectly, but it's almost lifeless. And it's
Hmm.
that very British school of like precision acting.
Right,
Yeah.
classical style of acting.
Right. Which is impressive in its own way, but also to me very alienating and cold and like,
Yeah.
but that's
It's-
British people.
yeah, I guess.
he
Well,
was,
I will
but,
say,
but he was playing a very cold.
But this is his
person.
And is it
whole
more
career.
deserved of something else? I mean, because
Now,
going back
Colin-
to Joey's question is, what is more deserved of the award?
What is-
If we've agreed that we should give awards to art,
Mhm.
then what makes one performance more deserving?
What is
of the
more
other?
deserving is Colin Firth in The Kingsman, where
Okay.
he's redeemed his entire career.
I still haven't seen
Yeah, I
that
haven't
yet.
done
Everybody's
it.
Pretty
been
good.
talking
Pretty
about it.
good.
It's wonderful, and he is amazing in it.
I mean, it's not an Oscar winner, obviously.
Well, no,
should be.
again, it doesn't. You know, you
It-
think
it-
it should be.
it's in willfully
performance is-
bad taste, which I appreciated.
So there is no way to distinguish art from itself, from other pieces of art. You mean? So to like award.
Quantify it.
Or
Well,
to-
not so much quantify
to
it,
put
no,
it
but
in-
to
in
separate
categories
it. Yeah,
or
to
tiers.
categorize
Qualify
different parts
it.
of art in order to award it appropriately. Like, I mean, should
Best comedy, best drama, best.
right, best
Horror,
horror,
yeah.
best musical. I mean, is that a
That's
better way
tr-
to do it?
yeah.
If we're going to, or is drama necessarily?
That's how we do
better
it
or
for
what?
the Emmys, right? We do like best like late night comedy. You know what I mean? Don't we?
Yeah.
Well,
but-
yeah, but that's a different style of a show. So like best variety is different from a sitcom, is
Okay.
different from a drama, and different.
True.
You know what I mean? Those are different
I think it all
styles
that's
of
true.
show.
for most people because these
Well,
things
in the same way, there's like a different
Right,
documentary.
best
Yeah.
short.
Right.
Yeah, best documentary. That's a good
because
point.
these
That's a
things
good
are
point.
so subjective. I think for most people it breaks down to effort, and so best acting becomes most acting, and
Mm.
best visual effects become most visual effects.
I think that's a good way to
Best
put it.
sound mix.
Sure.
And so people go like, well, Transformers had 18,000,
Shit tons,
different lines of audio and dialogue
Right.
going on there. And that mixing must have been insane. So yeah, there you go. Oscar. It seems really difficult.
Yep.
Or like, Leo is really cold up there and it seemed physically grueling to do that. So all things being equal, who's one to
Who
say,
worked harder?
so you worked harder. Yeah.
I
It's
think
yours.
that's important. That's fair.
I worked
It's
with
not,
I worked with
I
a guy
get
that
it.
won an Emmy.
No, yeah, it's an
And
interesting way to do it.
he won an Emmy for sound mixing.
uh-huh.
Basically, his explanation was that it was his turn. So he was just happened to be working on a show that always won the Emmy for sound mixing.
Right.
And so they just kind of cycled through the different sound mixers and, oh, you've been here for 5 years. Okay, it's your turn to get the award.
I always do an Oscar pool with one of my buddies. And I've always gotten sound categories correct because it's always the loudest movie.
Sure.
I'm saying 14 times out of 14, it's
Yeah.
always the loudest movie.
So, what is the difference between sound editing and sound mixing?
So sound mixing is
Mhm.
the production sound mixing.
Okay.
So that the person who's recording the sound on set, usually dialogue, which can be difficult in many different situations depending on the shoot. Sound editing is post-production sound. So designing, a rocket ship or recording
Effects,
a Foley
Foley
effects.
music,
yeah.
yeah.
Or choosing the music could be as much as that. Or, that could be part of it, I guess.
Oh, so mixing is on set.
Mixing is on set. I know
Generally.
it's confusing because mixing in the music world is afterwards, after
Yeah.
the performance.
It's also after in film world too. I
It
mean,
is
at the
now
end, there's the
because we
final
can
mix.
record
You're right.
isolated tracks.
you're right.
But
So do you do both? I mean,
well,
is
the
the same
final
mixer
mix
on
is
set?
the
considered.
final. Go ahead, Nishan.
No, I'm sorry. Go for it.
Oh yeah, the final mix is done. It literally when you're mixing every single element of that sound in there, including the music, the Foley, the sound effects, the dialogue.
Right.
Whereas mixing on set is like you have actually different tracks of audio in your
Right.
hands, and you're live mixing like you're mixing a concert
Right.
with different tracks of audio being your actors.
So do the
dialogue.
people on set also mix in the end? Like, do they do the final mix of it?
No, they're usually two separate jobs completely, and the person who does the on-set mixing says goodbye as soon as the picture wraps.
So who gets the Oscar?
One's an office
the
guy.
person
One's
at
a
the end
knucklebuster.
mixing it, or the
No,
person on set
it's the on-set versus mix.
There's two.
Versus So the
No,
on-set
there's-
guy is the mixer. He gets one award.
Yeah.
And then the in-studio guy is the sound editor. He gets another award.
Oh, here's the other thing.
The problem is the in-studio guy is not just one guy; it's like 50 guys.
Yeah.
And the
That's where you get
and,
the
and even
cycling.
the on-set guy, there's a head, there's a
True.
boss, but there's usually a few guys working under him as well.
Just like any department.
This
I,
is a-
I
That's
see.
true.
Honestly, I thought it was the opposite. I sound editing. I'm with you guys on.
Mhm.
It's the people who create the sounds, etc. All the creating the sounds, and then you kind of the mix downs, the Foley, all that's good stuff. Or not the
Mhm.
mix downs, but the Foley and the creations of the sounds. at the
Sure.
end.
Right.
But then the mixing, I always thought was the final mix of everything. Taking all the stuff that the editors have created, and then the final mix.
That's
of
considered
all
the
that.
editing.
That's
That would
called
be-
sound editing.
That would be sound editing.
Yeah.
That person is
I
usually
think
called
that's
the
sound
re-recording
mixing.
mixer.
I think that's the sound
No,
mixing.
no.
Okay.
Mix. That is the distinction for the
Yeah.
award, at least. However you want to argue it. Mixing is for the on-set guys, and editing is for the off-set guys.
Really?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Here's another ironclad rule. The Oscar always goes to two different sound teams. One for mixing and one for sound editing. It's almost never the same dude.
The two loudest.
It's just totally random.
Oh yeah.
And
You
there's
mean
always
the same movie or the same?
no. It's almost always two different movies.
Yeah.
I guess it's not ironclad.
Gravity
but
won both.
oftentimes it's two different ones.
So what do you guys think are going to win for the sound? You guys.
I
the
think
sound guys. Talk to me
honestly,
about
the way I
sound.
think about sound is that I think that the one that does something special usually wins. Everything in Hollywood usually sounds amazing, especially all the big budget stuff. It's not about the amount of tracks, it's about doing something creative and unique. For instance, Les Miserables won one year because they recorded all the music live on set, which is unheard of.
it's
Gravity-
not unheard of.
It's just stupid.
okay. It's
Very-
very
it's
difficult.
almost never
It's very
done.
difficult in this day and age with that many people.
The
It
director
is.
gave these interviews saying it had never been done before. Which
No,
was
no, that's
It's not
That's
true,
an
but-
overstatement.
Okay.
Obviously, it's unusual. But
When
he was
had it-
like,
when
"This
had it
is
been done before?
unprecedented."
Yeah, when
I'll
it was
look it
done.
up.
Glee.
It's like old school musicals.
Glee.
But even
No,
then,
no,
wait.
that's-
No,
that's
not
makes
even
sense.
Glee.
Not to this
I can think
extent.
of one off the top of my
they
head.
didn't have hundreds. Of,
Parenthood.
didn't have hundreds of
Uh,
people mic'd with
they all
live.
Parenthood's not a
laughed.
musical.
Yeah.
They do a lot of live music.
The Peter
So,
Bogdanovich
like,
thing.
It's a thing.
What do you mean, on the show?
There's a
When do they do live music on Parenthood?
I actually only watch a behind the scenes thing where they are doing a lot of the like apparently there's like live bands in the show and stuff like that. So it's like
John O'Brien.
I guess I've seen the whole show though.
oh really?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah,
I've
I've
only
seen
seen it
everything.
behind the scenes.
To answer your question, there's a Peter Bogdanovich movie called They All Laughed. that
Of
was
course, it's
recorded live.
Bogdanovich
Yeah.
movie. Nice. Go ahead. So
Yeah.
who's gonna win this? What the fuck is that?
Let's see. Okay. So I said earlier, I do think that sound edit. But here's the thing: is I make my opinion very clear here. I don't think that the people who win are always the best. I, for instance, liked All Is Lost. I don't know if anyone saw this movie, All Is Lost.
I did.
It's Robert Redford by himself on a boat, pretty much the entire movie, and there's no dialogue. You guys obviously understand my opinion when I said Mad Max earlier. I think that there's something to be said for driving a story with just the sound and of small things of the water lapping and the sound of the sails and stuff like that kind of thing.
Mhm.
I don't think it has to be 20 million tracks at once like in a Michael Bay film. Sometimes it can be less is more. But I mean that's also my opinion. Like I like blues music as opposed to heavy metal. So I mean that can be just my opinion. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I think it's gonna be Fury Road and Star Wars.
I wonder what
whichever
on
gets
set-
which is
Oh, this is the other thing that always cracks me
I
up.
didn't see.
So there's 5 nominees in each category. 4 of them are always the same, and then there's one wild card. Every year it's this way,
yeah.
as if it's like a formula. I don't know why.
You,
That just
you
makes
think
me laugh.
there's not a formula?
There clearly is because it's always reflected. Let's talk about the only category that matters: Best Supporting Actor. God Stallone.
You know what? There is always like that. That's a fun category, man. It's always
Which
like a
one?
fun one to try. Best
is.
supporting
It
whatever,
is.
actor or
Stallone.
actress.
Okay, let me
You
read.
think he'll win this
let me
year?
read all 5. Hold on.
Be an
guys.
American. Vote Stallone.
Okay, we got Christian Bale, Big Short, Tom Hardy, The Revenant, Mark Ruffalo, Spotlight, Mark Rylance, Bridge of Spies. Sylvester Stallone, Creed.
Hit the button. Good.
I mean, you were on Tom Hardy's dick for like an hour and a half.
Oh, Tom
man.
Hardy's great.
Okay,
He's
but
not Stallone.
okay.
Yeah.
Lifetime
enough.
Achievement Award for
The
Tango and
Shakespearean,
Cash.
the Shakespearean in me wants Mark Rylance.
Wheeler just has a
I haven't actually
lifelong
seen
hard
that.
on for
I haven't
Stallone.
either. Actually.
I think Stallone is wonderful.
Why
and
haven't you
great.
seen Bridge of Spies?
I don't know.
Because it's my justification is because not justification, but like my mentality is it's Spielberg. I know what I'm getting into. I don't really care.
No,
Like,
I
I'm
want
fine
to see
and
it.
it's good. I want to see it too, but I just don't care enough to like go see it in the theater.
You know what? I've liked even his recent stuff. I like
liked
Spielberg.
it. Yeah, no, me too. I love
It's one of those
Spielberg.
things where
It's
I'm
just-
sure I'll see it and enjoy it. I just have no
Exactly.
motivation.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Warhorse
Right.
and AI were amazing.
Wow.
Did you see my eyes raised on this podcast?
Warhorse.
So okay,
forever.
so Stallone on Creed. That's fine. How about supporting actress?
Okay. We got
Wait, that's fine. Wait. We
Oh,
all
yeah,
agree
did we-
Stallone's going to win?
No, I don't know if he's gonna win. I don't.
Did
I
you
don't know,
Did you
actually.
see Creed?
What about Ruffalo?
He's never won, right?
Ruffalo's
He never won.
supposedly
Yeah,
very-
Spotlight?
Lifetime
It's
I haven't
Achievement.
seen it.
It's
I heard-
great. Yeah, he's really good in Spotlight.
He could
I really
deserve it.
liked
No
Spotlight.
way.
No,
Mark Ruffalo is not fucking Portuguese. Disqualified.
I don't think he's gonna win either. I just liked
Well,
him.
just
I don't know.
thinking from a politinkering standpoint.
Sure.
I think first off, supporting actor is one of the things that everyone gets to vote on.
Yep.
So everyone that receives that ballot, that's the one. It's like name recognition,
Right, that's a good point.
I think that's just an easy box to take.
He deserves it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to see him up there.
Exactly. Yeah. If for nothing else, you want to see the speech. Like,
Is he a Philly legend, Joey?
Yes,
There you go.
he is. He is.
People have heard of him.
Like he'll show up to like a Sixers game or a Flyers game. They'll put him on the big screen. Everyone goes. "Nah."
Here's a quick question. Wheeler might know this. So in Rocky, the first one, what is the number of his apartment?
I don't know that
Okay,
shit.
I don't know. It was interesting.
69.
It's right there. No, it's like 4 numbers. I don't remember what it is, but I think it might be 3. I don't know.
THX
I feel
1138.
like there's a 9 and a
Yeah,
6.
exactly.
It might be like 196. I don't remember. But-
THX.
if it's not
1138.
like always his address or like
Or
the
an
key
8,
to unlocking
7.
the Da Vinci
Wait, why are
Code,
you
I don't
asking
care.
this question?
I don't know.
Oh,
Man.
It was room
I don't know, man.
237. Room
I don't know, man.
237.
Nice.
Mm.
There's. Remember
Wow,
when we saw
what a
that?
film. What a garbage
Wheeler and I saw film 237.
I've
And
seen
I'm
it.
obviously a
Room
huge Stanley
237?
Kubrick. Room 2. Is that what I said? What did I
Film
say?
237.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Mm.
The film about the documentary.
Right,
Mm.
exactly.
About the
I mean,
making of
I
it.
love Stanley Kubrick, and the whole the intricacies of The Shining are brilliant and wonderful, and I kind of knew all that going in.
I would
But-
hate to work for him.
Of course, yeah. You but and so we had never seen a movie, and still to this day haven't seen another movie together.
I think
Actually,
it soured us.
as much as you want. No, you know what? We saw fucking Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that's right.
That's
but
right.
I think we both had
We
seen
knew
that
going
one.
in. We knew going in. What we were
Had some
getting.
preconceived notions on
Right.
that one.
But
Wicket.
I was fucking seething, man. I hated that movie so bad. And
Why?
It's I
The
don't know.
Vader stuff
It
is
was
cool.
So
Well done.
the
You
Ewoks.
deserve some like sound there. There you go.
it was it was just the conspiracy theory elements of it were just the movie was also just so poorly done. It was so fucking silly.
Talk
and
about
just-
sound mixing and sound recording on that.
Another great point.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was just
all
really
the
shitty.
voiceover is like, and in this scene, and then that's to the left. But if you notice, the camera tracks to the right. Kubrick is commenting on the red stare.
Yeah, and so anyway, it's I don't know what got me into that. It was a shitty documentary. Documentary features. Have you guys seen any of the documentaries yet?
I don't think I've
What's the
seen a
list?
single one.
All right, here we go. Amy, Cartel Land, The Look of Silence, What Happened, Miss Simone, Winter on Fire, Ukraine's Fight for Freedom.
Isn't that a
Nope.
Netflix movie?
It is.
Wow, that
The
got a
Nina Simone
theatrical
thing.
release.
I think so.
So
Yeah.
just to clarify, if I'm not mistaken, a movie cannot be
Yeah.
eligible for an Academy Award unless it is released in theaters in at least one theater across the country.
You are
Domestic.
correct, sir.
I thought it had to be New York and LA for 2 weeks.
Really?
I think there's
I think
some
that's the rule.
specifics.
It has to
but
play in New York and Los Angeles for 2 weeks to qualify.
Wow. Okay, I didn't.
So
it
you
makes
know-
sense.
Yeah, for
Sounds
Netflix, they don't
pretentious enough to
care
be
if
right.
it,
Yeah,
if it like
you're
plays
right.
to empty houses.
It's like I buy it.
Yeah.
That works.
Okay,
Fuck
so
Chicago.
who's seen Amy? Anyone see Amy?
Nope.
I haven't seen any of them.
Seems like that's the front runner.
I haven't seen any of them.
Is
either.
that the front runner?
I don't know. The Look of Silence. I haven't seen that one, but I've seen The Act of Killing, which is the the
Did
prequel.
Active Killing win?
They both start with
No, it's
And
their
then
companion
I'm
pieces.
kidding, I know.
Oh, okay. I just made sure.
Did it win though? I can't remember.
So you
I
have to
don't
watch
think
one in
he-
each eye.
I don't remember.
I think it was
Anyway.
20 Feet from Stardom. I think won that year.
Oh yeah, you're totally right.
I
I think Amy's gonna win.
Does
think so,
everybody
too.
vote on best documentary?
I don't think so.
No idea.
Really? I feel like they would.
Yeah, it seems like I think
Really?
all the the big general things
Yeah.
like there. I don't think
Yeah,
there's
but maybe
enough.
not actually. It'd be
Are there
enough
enough
documentary
Academy
filmmakers in the
yeah,
Academy.
Exactly.
There have to be.
The Look
Mm,
of Silence.
All 17.
I mean, probably not
dudes?
documentary short and shit like that, but
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Best screenplay I think might be given by everybody might vote on best screenplay too.
Yeah, I think all those big ones. I think it's like even best writer. I think
Best
that's what it was.
screenplay
That's
is
what I'm saying. Best
Yeah.
screenplay, best adapted and original.
best
think everybody
screenplay. I
votes
think is
on
one of the
those.
more annoying ones because people aren't reading the screenplay. They're just
Sure they are.
No.
If
Most
everybody's
people-
if everybody's voting on them, no. But if just the screenwriters,
Yeah,
are, they
yeah.
probably
I'm saying
are.
like
Oh, yeah.
actors or whatever. Let's actors mainly. They're not
Of course
reading it.
they've read them all. They
They're-
were probably fucking up
They're
for a part in
basing,
one of
but they're
them.
basing it. Don't you think?
I think the
on the
majority of the
finished film?
Yeah, they're basing it on
Not
the
on the
screener
screenplay?
they get, not the.
Yes.
Which I think
well,
is
You know
unfair.
what? I honestly don't know. I don't have enough information to say.
Yeah.
One way or
Wait,
the other. I
Wheeler.
don't.
So you're saying
Well, this
that
is just like when people vote for best editing. Like they don't know what they're voting for. Like,
The
they're-
editors, no, I don't see. That's one thing. I don't think everybody. I think only the editors vote for editing.
But even then, you don't know necessarily what the other guy's working with. You don't know what footage he's shaped. You don't know if he's rescued horrible performances or if he just slapped together something that was great.
It's a good
in its
point.
infancy.
No,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
it goes.
point.
Yeah, but it
Like,
also
what does best editing mean? If you were
Exactly,
given
that's
the
my
best
point.
material,
it-
was it your doing?
in many ways, yes. In many ways, yes, because it's still the pacing, it's still the structure of it. I mean, you can still.
But you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
There's
I
some
do.
movies
But I
where they
think,
just deliver you gold and you can't cut it wrong.
well,
And there are other movies where the editors really do rescue the film.
of course, but then it goes back into your point before, which which also might kind of negate it in the first place, which is that you give the award the work, the most work is most deserved of the award.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
Most
what I mean? Which I
editing.
don't know if it is necessarily true.
No, I don't.
There's a delicacy and an intimacy to the editing.
I guess what I'm saying
itself in the
with
same way
the
with
editing,
screenplay.
so much of it depends on what material you're getting, and people obviously aren't privy to that.
Yes
people
and
aren't
no.
seeing the
Yes and
dailies.
no. I
Well,
don't know if that's necessarily true.
Yeah, that's
You
kind of
could-
like saying if you wrote, 30 drafts, does that make it a better book than
No,
someone
no,
that's
no.
actually
no,
wait,
because
wrote
he's
it?
still saying.
I'm not
that.
saying that.
Well,
I'm saying a lot of people I would guess, base best editing on the quality of the finished movie, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Which is
Agreed.
not necessarily that much to do with the editor.
That's
a
that's
movie,
why
a
Sean
movie
is
can be
saying-
mediocrely edited and be a great movie, or the
Yeah.
editor can not have to
Yeah.
go above and beyond.
I think we all agree with
Well,
that.
no, but again, that's what I'm saying. It's not going above and beyond is hard to say. Like, it's
Yeah,
not,
I know
it's not
it
like
is.
editing is just like saving a shitty movie.
No.
Sometimes it is.
Even
but
you can
it
have
can
it.
be.
It can be, but that doesn't mean it's good editing. Just saving a shitty movie is equally as hard as making a
I
great
guess,
movie.
Yes,
great.
of course. What I'm trying to
Mm.
say is the people voting for it, I don't think they're less privy to the decisions being made in the editing room than for other things. Like
Yeah,
best
but they can
directing,
still
best
tell
picture,
whether
best
something is.
acting.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. You can You
Really?
can tell. Yeah, you can tell. You really can.
Again, if it's the editors
You really
voting,
can.
yes. If it's the
Did you
general
go to film
academy,
school? Did you go to
Yeah.
film school? Right? Exactly. So you fucking know. Like you'll sit
You think
in
an
the editing,
actor
you can
watching
tell.
it can tell what's
But they're not
well
voting
edited?
on it.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I think it's just the editors.
If it's
voting on
editors
editing.
voting, okay, fine.
I think it's just editing. Okay,
Okay.
and if it is actors, then I agree with
Yeah.
you.
If it's just editors voting, then yeah, okay, they have a pretty good.
so we
idea
are
what
all
people
saying
are
the
doing.
same.
Yeah,
thing.
we're all agreement. Here.
But if
Well,
it-
we had to get there. Discourse. Does any of this fucking matter though? Do the Oscars even matter? Really? To us? People seem to think that they do. I mean, they matter. They matter to the actors. They matter to the people.
I would
who
say they
get them.
certainly matter. People campaign for it.
Right, but I mean, ultimately,
it
to the
affects
to the
box
viewer
office.
themselves, is it really just in Joey's analogy where it's just like watching the Super Bowl? Like, does
It
anybody's
matters-
life
it
really
does-
change?
Yeah, to some people it does matter. Just because I don't care about it doesn't mean it doesn't matter.
Can you talk to me about those people?
When Joey was working in a movie rental store, they had a whole section of Best Picture Oscar winners.
Mhm.
He memorized their names.
Mhm.
It matters. Silly things matter.
Okay.
When the politicians keep politicking, before you turn to excessive drinking. Spend some time collectively politinkering with the show where I don't know, man. 'Cause the truth is, I don't know, man. 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 I don't know, man.
That's 2 episodes in a row where we didn't end with I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
It's called Politinkering.